Hey guys. Okay, so right now I have the house to myself and I decided to take advantage of the opportunity to make a video about something more personal. And I guess it's not so much make as remake, but I wanted to redo my coming out story. If you had already watched this or posted comments, you don't have to rewatch it. I'll post all the comments that were on it down below, so you can check there if you want. So I came out on November 12th, 2008. And I marked November 12th, 2008 as the day that I came out because that's the day that my mom found out I was gay. But naturally, she wasn't the first person I told. The first person I told was one of my really good friends. Her name's Abby, and I met her at work, I want to say in the summer of 2007, but I'm not sure. I'm not going to take the time to think back that far. But I came out to her in the summer of 2008, I think. It was the summer following the summer that I met her, so yeah, 2008 would be right. I decided to come out because at the time I was really struggling with my sexuality. Like, everything I did revolved around acting straight or covering up, and it consumed me to the point where I couldn't take it anymore. It was at a point where my life had to change, either for better or for worse, and if it changed for worse, there was only one place it could go. And had it gone there, I wouldn't be making this video, so I knew that something had to give. I decided to come out to Abby because I knew she supported gay people, and she had some gay friends, and I thought she might understand, or actually, I don't really know why. I just love her so much, and I knew that she would still love me. But even knowing that, I still couldn't tell her that I was gay. I ended up texting her because texting seemed safer. And I was like, hey, Abby, can I tell you something important? And she was like, yeah, sure, anything. And I told her that I was bi. And she still accepted me and loved me, which I knew she would, but I guess I was afraid of anything at that point. So things started to get better because now I had someone I could talk to about what was real in my life rather than a lie that I was living behind. But I still wanted someone who could fully relate, someone I could talk to about problems I was having, and someone who had been there, someone who could give me answers. I remember back that summer, there was a guy who would come up to the stand I worked at. He worked in merchandising, I think. So the people from different departments would come up to any food stand to get water, and he sometimes came to mine. So midpoint through the summer, I found out he was gay, and he was someone that I really wanted to talk to, but I could never build up enough courage to. So I did what anyone did at that time, and I went on MySpace and found him, which I guess sounds kind of creeper-like, but whatever. So I ended up finding him on MySpace and sending a friend request and a message, which took me over an hour to send actually. We're not going to get into why and all whatnot, but it basically went over everything I wanted to tell him over the summer. Um, and he did respond to it, and we started to talk, and I told him I was gay. He was actually the first person that I came out to as gay, and he helped me with so much that I was going through, and he really helped me to come out. So now that I had a couple people that knew and who I could talk to, I started to come out at school, and I did that by just telling a few of my closest friends, but I still wasn't ready to tell people I was gay. So, like Abby, I told them that I was bi, and that started to get around the school a little bit, but anyways, I developed like a safety net, I guess you would call it, of people to fall back upon so I could then tell my mom. And I had spent so much time just planning how and when I was going to do it, and it ended up with I couldn't. Even though I knew my mom was going to be loving and accepting, I still couldn't. So I texted my best friend, Allie. Her name's Alicia, but I call her Allie because I just do. And we devised a plan where she was going to tell her, but it didn't work out exactly like that. One night, her mom had been going through her phone, and she found some of the text messages that I was sending Allie, and she decided to call my mom. So the day was now November 12th, and I was coming home from school on the bus, and I got a text message from my mom saying that we needed to talk when I got home, and at this point I knew that she knew. So the whole bus ride, I just sat in silence and fear of the worst, and I finally got home, and I came inside. The door was unlocked, so I went up to her room, and we talked for what seemed like ever, but it probably was only like 5 minutes, and she told me that Allie's mom called her and told her that he thought that I was confused with myself. And at that point, I decided to say, no, Mom, I'm not confused. And she took it really well. She actually told me a story about a guy that my dad worked with who wore women's underwear, which made things really, really awkward, and still, nevertheless, she took it well. And I'm glad that she did. Um, After that, I knew that my mom knew, and I was okay with anything after that because I knew I would always have my family with me, and in the end, that's what's most important. So I came out at school as gay, and things are okay. I got some people that are backed away in disgust, I guess, which that hurts when you get someone who does that, but it could be so much worse. 90% of the people were like, oh, that's cool, whatever. Um, some people were actually like really happy, which took me back at the time, but now it's just like, that's cool. Yeah, I think that's about it. See you guys.